Wealthy properties impacted. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my stein of coffee and I thought we'd have a look at this article from realestate.com.au regarding some affluent suburbs and how they're becoming hotspots for the virus that's spreading around the world, and asking the question, will that turn off buyers? Now, there has been a lot of discussion and spruiking about property going up and shooting up. And, well, growth hasn't been uniform, and nothing represents it better than this diagram showing the differences in price growth for units. You've got the red rooster line there with the lower value properties to the west and the goat cheese enclaves to the right with the posher suburbs performing much better. So whenever you hear these arguments that property is going up, it's going up, particularly if they mention a whole city, it's kind of useless because you need to look at it at a finer grain, at a more granular level. So let's have a look at this article, guys, and we'll see, ask the question, do you think, being a hotspot to this pandemic, do you think it will inhibit people buying? So, money can buy you a lot of things, a luxury home, a Rolex watch, even a lavish skiing trip to Aspen. You can't get any of these things nowadays because we're all in lockdown. But evidently it can't protect you from the illness. In fact, according to recent state health data, the highest number of confirmed cases of the disease in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane are in affluent areas. Could that be because you've got more people travelling to and from those areas, or coming from overseas holidays, or maybe getting off cruise ships? Wonder how many people in Turak were on a cruise and just came back. Both New South Wales Health and Victoria's Department of Health and Human Services have broken down the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 by local government area. Sydney's Waverly Council, which covers the popular tourist hub of Bondi and the ritzy Vaucluse, is currently showing the highest number of infections in New South Wales at 165, and this was on the 5th of April. Meanwhile, in Victoria, Stonington Council, which encompasses the blue ribbon suburbs of Toorak and South Yarra, is the virus hotspot for the state with 86 confirmed cases. And that was on the 6th of April. Toorak is the only time I've ever worked on a house project where we actually specified real slate tiles. It's more difficult to hone in on hotspots in Queensland because the number of confirmed cases has been categorised by health district. Queensland health figures show Metro North, which covers affluent parts of inner city Brisbane, such as Ascot and New Farm, and stretches more than 100 kilometres north of the state's capital, has the highest number of infections in the state at 280. Well, there you go. It has to be the horse racing at Ascot. Has to be. New Farm's close to the airport too, guys. It's not that far. The obvious explanation for the concentration of cases across wealthier suburbs is that those are the areas where people travel overseas more frequently, according to Professor John Matthews from the School of Population and Global Health at the University of Melbourne. The majority of cases identified in Australia have been in people who have travelled overseas, he says. Because of the emphasis on people coming back from overseas and on cruise ships, the contact tracing has been focused on returning travellers and what happens to the contacts of the cruise ships. These cruise ships have just been, all these zombie apocalypse movies, the cruise ships and the aeroplanes, they're meant to all be safe from these illnesses, but it just hasn't happened, has it? It's just ravaged them all. Even there was a carrier in the US, apparently the captain got dismissed because he was trying to raise concerns that the illness was spreading through his crew. Matthews says another reason for a higher number of cases in moneyed areas could be that people are more often out and about in public spaces like restaurants and shops. But this must change. Get your jackboot ready, guys. I think it's very important that everyone tries to stick to the rules now that they're widely understood. In the early days, people felt they were more able to bend the rules, and I think we need to encourage them not to do so, he says. So, is this a bad look for property markets? While residents in these virus-hit suburbs might be deterred from visiting their local supermarket, those who aspire to live in these areas don't appear to be shying away. Principal at Ray White Unlimited, North Bondi, Ron Boyer, says concerns about the illness in Waverly Council is playing out much the same way as it is everywhere else. I don't feel like it's exacerbated because we're in Waverly versus anywhere else. If anything, I feel like our market is still highly resilient and always has been in negative times. The prices still seem to be holding up and inquiries are still high, he said. We had 4 sales last week, which in an office of our size is a good week in any measure. All of them went for the prices we expected. There was no compromise from the clients on their expectations, so we're finding that there's still quite a bit of positivity out there. Well, positivity in their area. I mean, these are the blue chip suburbs. They always tend to be more robust. He believes the illness will absolutely not put people off wanting to live in the area, which has long been a high-demand pocket of Sydney. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens in the next 6 months if this continues. In Melbourne, Managing Director of Gillis Craig, Stonington, Andrew McCain, says it's business as usual. While they are able to manage one-on-one appointments with individuals, they keep in regular contact and communication with the directors across the Gillis Craig group, and I think that we all sit in similar markets around inquiry levels and the way we're going about our business at the moment, said McCain. I think it'd be putting a spin on things to suggest that there haven't been some buyers that have probably just reflected and are choosing to hold back on their purchasing intentions at the moment. He adds, the group predicts that the buyers pool has shrunk by as much as 30 to 50% over the past month. Well, there you go. Isn't this is conflicting with other data we're getting, isn't it? Other people claiming it's a vendor's market when we're down 30, 50%. We're getting mixed messages. And remember, this is still all very early days. We'll have to see what happens. But that said, we're transacting property regularly and we're transacting at good prices. And we are dealing with a number of people in the market that want to continue on their buying journey. So bargain hunters are targeting affluent, safe suburbs. It seems the illness has not tarnished the investment prospects of affluent suburbs in Australia's east coast cities. Search data, of course, it's always search data. Search data from realestate.com.au showed buyers are becoming more focused on premium, expensive suburbs such as Toorak, South Yarra, Bondi, and Vaucluse, and according to realestate.com.au chief economist Nerida Conisbee. We can see this is looking at views per listing in these suburbs, she said. It's likely because these suburbs are generally considered safe in terms of holding value. Conisbee adds that while the illness is hitting wealthy parts of Australia, the employment impacts are typically in lower paid jobs. This means those who can still afford to buy in these areas might be house hunting. Some buyers might be looking for bargains because right now, highly paid white-collar jobs have been less impacted than lower paid jobs in hospitality and tourism. Well, she's right there. Now is the time, if you've got cash and you come in and make an offer, for people to jump in. This is when you can get the bargains, when you get distressed items. We'll have to see what happens. What do you think, guys? Do you think this will affect the markets? And why are we not hearing anyone else mention this big decrease, 30 to 50% in the buyer pool from last month? Haven't heard that before anywhere else, have we? They must have snuck that one in on this article. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Do you think this will affect the property market, or are you rushing out to get your slate-clad house or slate-roofed house in Toorak? If you'd like to support the channel, there are a few ways you can. You can share the content, get the videos out there, help the channel grow. You can support us by using our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay for your consumer purchases, or our referral links at Independent Reserve or Kucoin for the crypto traders out there. We have merch available from HeiseSays or from Teespring. You can support us using PayPal or Gold Pass to send us your gold. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.